Happy 2024, everybody. Let's set some goals. First things first, this is my first sip of coffee today. There goes all of the lipstick. This is actually the first sit down YouTube video that I have filmed since Vlogmas, so it feels a little bit weird. We're gonna ignore the fact that I still have not unpacked from Christmas, and my voice is still waking up, but here we are. So I recently sat down and set some business goals for myself for 2024, and I remembered that I actually made a 2023 fitness goals video last year. Someone in the comments of one of my recent videos said it would be fun for me to go back, watch that video, and see if I actually accomplished my goals. So we are gonna do exactly that today. Along the way, we are gonna reset some new goals for 2024. So let's do it. Let's talk about the basic plan, and we're gonna talk with our strength training. Really simple, I wanna strength train for myself 3 times a week. So that means not when I'm teaching, not when I'm working with anyone, just doing it for me. I had been pretty consistent in doing my own workouts. I was just choosing stuff from the Fit Club. And then all of a sudden, first week of January, my friend Bonnie, who's a trainer based out of Philly, announced she had an opening. And I was like, let's do it. So my new plan is to work out with Bonnie twice a week, and then I'm gonna do 1 additional strength workout of my choice on the weekends. I pretty much stuck to that. If we just look at the basic goal 3 times a week, I stuck to that pretty darn consistently. Now, if we're getting into the specifics of it, I did work with Bonnie for a few months, and then I actually ended up joining a gym that I'm currently still going to. I've talked about it kind of endlessly at this point, but really the big reasons were I wanted to get out of the house more, I wanted more access to different types of equipment, and I also was in the middle of doing a kettlebell course, so I wanted more access to, more equipment. So let's set some new goals. I want to stick to that 3 times a week schedule. I've gotten that really consistent, and what I've been doing, what I want to continue to do, is a full body pull, full body push, and a skills day. And my skills day is always kettlebell stuff. I really do want to get back into pull-ups this year now that my shoulder's feeling better. And kind of a side goal here that I am going to talk a little bit more about specifically in a mobility video that I have coming out, I think in a week from this one. I want to get more consistent implementing my own mobility routine. So I guess that's what we can kind of tack on here in terms of an additional goal, since I've really nailed this one from last year. It is time for a workout. All right, technically not yet, but this is a tip that I wanted to give you guys before I take you to the gym. If you can habit stack your workout with something else that makes it easier to get done, do that. So for example, right now I'm going to meet a client in person for their training session. And then because I'm already out of the house in workout clothes, I'm gonna walk right to my gym and get my workout done. That way I didn't have to pick up and leave the house twice today. Another example of this could be if you were doing chores around the house and you were in workout clothes because they're comfortable, maybe right after you get in your workout. There's a lot of different specific ways that you can kind of stack these things together, but this is just a tactic that I like to use. So we're gonna work and then we're gonna work out, and I will see you in a bit. I was really great with my steps the whole year, especially when I was training for my 5K. And then December hit, I was doing that $100 food budget challenge. I was attached to my computer, just editing and then prepping for the new year. So my steps were terrible, which is fine. I had to prioritize what I had to prioritize. I went on vacation. I got back from vacation on the 2nd. Today it is currently the 10th. And just because I'd fallen out of the habit, it wasn't a habit anymore. So I'm keeping my step goal of 70,000 a week, which ends up being about 10,000 a day. And one of the tactics I'm going to bring back that I used to do is put in my calendar, put in my walks in my calendar, schedule it out for myself. Otherwise, I will not do it. I really liked 2023 Justina's mindset right there. Just it wasn't a priority because I had other priorities. It is what it is. And that happens. You're gonna phase through different cycles of life. In terms of new goals for 2024, I wanna keep it at the 70K a week or 10,000 on average a day, however you wanna look at it. Fitbit actually makes it really easy now to look at your yearly average. So I wanna see if I actually hit it. I'm gonna guess I probably averaged 8,000 steps a day. It is just still really hard working from home. I'd like to try for 10,000 steps on average a day again this year. I'm not gonna be upset if I don't hit it. For me, honestly, as long as I'm in that 7,000 to 8,000 range daily, I'm gonna be happy, because those are the numbers that have shown through many different studies that your risk of chronic illness plummets. Anything above that 8,000 range is, if we're talking about chronic illness, it doesn't make that much of a difference. I personally like having a little bit more because, if I'm being fully honest, it gives me a little bit more leeway so I can take more energy in. Okay, I was pretty spot on. About 8,000 steps a day on average for the year. I think what I realized this past year was that it does take a lot more intention than it used to, like before I started mostly working from home. And a tactic that really helps me is like taking a second to look at the whole week and see where I might need to fit a walk in. If I'm going to the gym that day, it's probably taken care of because it's about a 15-minute walk in each direction. If I am going to see a personal training client in Manhattan, I know my steps are probably taken care of between the subway, between the walk to the studio. Same thing with my training clients in Astoria. So basically, I just need to look at the days where I don't have one of those things happening and go, maybe we should get outside today. Hi everybody. So I am on my way to get my hair done because we can tell she needs it. And one of my favorite ways to get in extra steps is to get off at a further subway stop. Obviously, this is a very specific tactic to someone who lives in a city and takes public transportation. But by leaving a little extra time, getting off at a further subway stop, it's really, really easy to get in those extra steps. So we are in a little bit of a hurry. We're going to the train, but I am going to take you along the way. All right, here's the hair. Literally, of course, it's raining every time I get my hair done, but we're gonna make our little trek back to the subway. And total, this is gonna give me like about 6,500 steps, which is no joke. Obviously, it's not my full step goal for the day, but again, we're gonna be looking at the entire week. So I'm gonna concentrate on where I'm going, and we'll see you later in the video. I would also this month like to get in one run per week. I am doing another 5K in March, but I'll pick up like more, I was gonna say serious training, it's 5K, Justina. But I will pick up like more consistent running in February. I was gonna run a 5K in March. Oh, that was when I hurt my foot. Right. So I was going to run a 5K in Washington Heights with my friend Matt. And that was when I started having really bad foot pain. I had to go to the physical therapist. That feels like 10 years ago. I actually have run a 5K this year. I ran the one on Thanksgiving. If you didn't watch this video right here, this documents my whole journey to a 5K, personal growth, running journey. It's very dramatic. Like it's a 5K. But for me, that's a lot because I really am not good at running. But I did run the 5K again on Thanksgiving this year with literally zero training, which I don't recommend. But I will say because my running mechanics are a lot better and because I have gone to physical therapy for a few things that were inhibiting my running, my ankles, my hips, my feet. I actually felt really good during and after the run. I just took it really slow and my calves were just a little sore for like 2 days. But can I still recommend running without any training? No. Anyway, all that to say, we're not setting a running goal. We will not be running again until Thanksgiving next year. I actually feel really solid with my nutrition. I think if I can improve anything, it's just eating breakfast a little bit sooner. A lot of times I just jump right into my work and I forget to eat breakfast until like 10 or 11 and then my whole day just gets kind of pushed back. So there's 2 ways that I'm gonna combat this. Number 1 is to make something the night before, like overnight oats, which, okay, I didn't finish it, but I did that last night. Or I can put it in my calendar. Again, I used to do this a lot just like with walks, and I find that by putting it in my calendar, it makes me treat it like a work event. Like I have to show up and do it. But honestly, overall, I've been really consistent and feeling really good with my nutrition, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, I mean, I have to say, like, honestly, I also feel really good with my nutrition. I feel like 90% of the time, I prioritize balanced meals. What that means to me is like protein, carb, fat, color on the plate. I've definitely improved on eating breakfast. A lot of that has been because I've been meal prepping on the weekends. I do a whole little series on Instagram about like meal prep Mondays, and it's really just like ASMR, me going through and making the easiest dishes ever. But I have found that just by having things on hand that in the moment I would probably talk myself out of actually making, having those things pre-made have been an absolute game changer. It is December 31st, which is a Sunday, and it's our meal prep day. So I currently have an Instacart shopper shopping for me. So let's talk about some of the things that you're gonna see me prep today and what I'm gonna use them for. I'm gonna cut up some bell peppers. I've been having them like at lunchtime as kind of like a little side dish, something crunchy to have, and that's been really nice and fun. I'm gonna throw chicken in the crock pot and have chicken Caesar salad the entire week. I'm gonna make some rice, and I think that's it. My meal prep is typically pretty low maintenance. If I'm feeling extra motivated, I'll make something fancier like a breakfast bake, but honestly, I knew going into today that this would be like my last day of vacation before I go back to work tomorrow. And I knew myself and I was like, I'm not gonna wanna work that hard. So once our groceries get here, we're not gonna work that hard and we're going to do those 3 things. I would love to hear a little bit about your realistic goals for the upcoming year, or I guess by the time you're seeing this for this year, down in the comments below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and I will see you all in the next one.